Imagine a world swallowed by green.
A realm where ancient stones, once reaching for the heavens, now lie entombed beneath an emerald canopy. For centuries, whispers of a forgotten empire echoed through the dense jungles of Central America.
A civilization of unparalleled intellect and artistry, yet seemingly lost to time. How could such grandeur simply vanish? What secrets did these silent stones hold?
The story begins with a question, a profound mystery waiting to be unearthed.
Deep within these vibrant ecosystems, a colossal civilization thrived for millennia.
Not just a collection of villages, but sprawling urban centers, connected by intricate networks, boasting monumental architecture and a profound understanding of the universe.
Their achievements rivaled, and in some ways surpassed, those of contemporary empires across the globe.
Yet, for so long, this entire world remained hidden, a ghost beneath the green.
How does an entire society disappear from the pages of conventional history?
Our journey takes us to Mesoamerica, a region stretching from central Mexico down through Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. This was the cradle of the Maya civilization, a diverse landscape encompassing volcanic highlands, coastal lowlands, and vast rainforests. It was within this geographical mosaic that countless city-states rose, each with its own identity, but bound by a shared culture, language, and worldview.
A patchwork of power, always shifting, always evolving.
The story of the Maya isn't a single, unified narrative of one empire, but rather a tapestry woven from the ambitions and innovations of many independent city-states.
Their roots stretch back thousands of years, long before their iconic pyramids dominated the skyline.
This wasn't a sudden explosion of genius, but a gradual, organic development, a slow-burn emergence from simpler agricultural communities.
What drove these early people to organize, to build, to dream so grandly? The seeds of something extraordinary were being sown.
By what we call the Middle Preclassic period, around 1000 BCE, the Maya were already establishing sophisticated communities.
Evidence suggests the beginnings of complex social structures, monumental architecture, and even early writing systems.
This wasn't just survival, it was the genesis of a rich cultural identity. Think of it as a quiet awakening, a fertile ground where the first grand ideas began to sprout.
What unseen forces guided these early communities towards such advanced organization?
Then came the Classic period, roughly 250 to 900 CE, an era of unprecedented flourishment.
And among the shining stars of this era was Tikal.
Picture colossal pyramids piercing the jungle canopy, reaching over 200 feet high. This was not just a city, it was a powerful kingdom, a bustling metropolis with an estimated population in the tens of thousands.
Tikal became a dominant force, a political and economic powerhouse. But what fueled its immense growth and its almost mythic influence over the region?
While Tikal was about brute power and monumental scale, Palenque offered a different kind of grandeur. Nestled in the highlands, its structures are renowned for their intricate stucco carvings, graceful architecture, and the profound artistry that adorned its temples. This city gives us some of the most intimate glimpses into Maya royalty, particularly through the tomb of its most famous ruler, Kinich Pacal, or Pacal the Great.
What stories did these elegant carvings aim to tell, and why was their preservation so meticulous?
Further south, in modern-day Honduras, lay Copan, a city famed for its extraordinary artistry in stone and its prolific scribes. Here, the hieroglyphic stairway stands as the longest ancient Maya text known, containing over 2,200 glyphs detailing the history and lineage of its rulers.
It's a literal library carved into a monument. What devotion and skill were required to produce such a monumental record? And what kind of power did these written histories bestow upon their leaders? Beyond their impressive cities, the Maya developed intellectual systems that continue to astound us. Perhaps most famously, their complex calendar systems. It wasn't just one calendar, but an intricate layering of cycles that tracked time with astonishing precision. This wasn't simply about knowing what day it was about understanding the cosmic flow, predicting astronomical events, and aligning human life with the divine order. What kind of worldview inspired such an elaborate system?
Their calendars, like the 260-day Tzolk'in and the 365-day Hab, intermeshed to form a 52-year calendar round. But for tracking longer periods, they devised the long count, a linear count of days from a mythical starting point far in the past. It's a system capable of tracking millions of years, far beyond human lifespans. This wasn't merely practical, it revealed a profound philosophical relationship with time itself. A cyclical understanding, where events echoed, and destinies unfolded within grand cosmic patterns. This obsession with time was deeply intertwined with their sophisticated understanding of astronomy. Maya astronomers meticulously observed the sun, moon, Venus, and other celestial bodies. They built observatories, some aligned with solstices and equinoxes, others designed to track the precise cycles of Venus. Their predictions of eclipses were remarkably accurate. What did they hope to gain from such precise celestial tracking? Was it simply knowledge, or something more profound, a connection to the divine? Accompanying their calendar and astronomy was a revolutionary mathematical system, notably one of the few ancient civilizations to independently develop the concept of zero. Their vigesimal, or base 20, number system allowed for complex calculations and recording vast spans of time. Zero, represented by a shell-like glyph, was not just a placeholder but a fundamental concept. How did they arrive at such an abstract yet essential mathematical truth, centuries before many other cultures? Imagine a language where every symbol tells a story, where intricate carvings reveal not just words, but entire worlds. The Maya developed the most sophisticated writing system in the ancient Americas, hieroglyphic script. These aren't just pictures, they're logograms representing words and syllabic glyphs representing sounds, combined to form complex sentences. What incredible insights into their history, mythology, and daily lives did this lost language once hold, waiting to be rediscovered? For centuries, these glyphs remained an impenetrable mystery. Scholars debated whether they were mere decorative art or a true phonetic language. The painstaking process of decipherment began in earnest in the mid-20th century, revealing a vibrant history of kings, battles, religious rituals, and astronomical observations. Each decoded glyph was like unlocking a tiny piece of their lost world. What other revelations are still hidden within the millions of untranslated inscriptions? Though most of their books perished over time, one monumental work survived, the Popol Vuh, the sacred text of the Quiché Maya. It tells the story of creation, the adventures of hero twins, and the lineage of their kings. This profound narrative offers a rare window into their cosmology, their moral code, and their understanding of their place in the universe. It's a testament to the richness of their oral traditions, later written down. What wisdom can we glean from these ancient stories? The Maya were master builders and sculptors. Their cities were not merely functional, they were artistic expressions, statements of power and piety. Temples, palaces, ball courts, each structure was meticulously crafted, often adorned with relief carvings, murals, and intricate stucco work. The scale and precision required for these constructions, often without metal tools, is breathtaking. How did they achieve such feats of engineering and artistry, transforming raw stone into living narratives? Their pyramids, often serving as temples, were more than just buildings, they were sacred mountains, conduits between the human and divine realms. Each ascent was a journey towards the gods, a ritualistic climb to higher consciousness. Many were built in layers, with new structures encasing older ones, creating a chronological record of a city's growth. What spiritual significance did these towering structures hold for the Maya? And what rituals unfolded upon their dizzying summits? Across Mesoamerica, a mysterious and intensely ritualized ballgame was played, often in grand stone courts within the heart of Maya cities. The rules are still debated, but we know it involved a rubber ball and high stakes. Sometimes, it was a symbolic reenactment of creation myths, other times, a surrogate for warfare, and occasionally, the ultimate sacrifice. Who were the players, and what did victory or defeat truly mean in a game where life itself might be on the line? The Maya world was not isolated. A sophisticated network of trade routes crisscrossed the region, connecting highlands with lowlands, inland cities with coastal ports. Obsidian, jade, cacao, salt, feathers, and ceramics flowed through these routes, fostering economic interdependence and cultural exchange. This wasn't just about goods, it was about the spread of ideas, technologies, and artistic styles.
What did these ancient supply chains reveal about the political landscape of the Maya? And how did they manage such vast exchanges?
At the very heart of Maya civilization, underpinning all its grandeur, was agriculture.
Their ingenuity in farming was essential, adapting to diverse environments through sophisticated techniques.
Maize, or corn, was not just a staple, it was sacred, the very staff of life, woven into their creation myths. Without this agricultural base, the monumental cities and intellectual achievements would have been impossible.
How did they feed such vast populations, and what challenges did they face in sustaining their growth? Maya society was rigidly stratified, ruled by powerful kings, or Kovolaja, divine lords. These rulers were not merely political leaders but also spiritual intermediaries, descended from the gods themselves. Their authority was legitimized through elaborate rituals, public ceremonies, and monumental inscriptions that detailed their lineage and achievements. What was the true nature of their power? And what happened when a divine lineage faltered or a king fell in battle? Despite their shared cultural traits, the classic Maya cities were often locked in complex webs of alliance and conflict. Warfare wasn't just about territorial expansion, it was also about capturing high-ranking individuals for ritual sacrifice, demonstrating royal power, and asserting dominance. The political landscape was fluid, alliances shifting like desert sands. What were the long-term consequences of this constant struggle for power? Could internal conflict have played a role in their ultimate fate? And then, the whisper of abandonment. Around 900 CE, something profound happened in the southern lowlands. City after city, once bustling with life, fell silent. Construction ceased. Inscriptions stopped. Populations plummeted. This wasn't a sudden cataclysm, but a slow, agonizing decline. Historians refer to it as the classic Maya collapse, one of the most enduring mysteries in archaeology. What force, or combination of forces, could bring such a sophisticated civilization to its knees? Imagine the scale of it: monumental cities, once centers of power and knowledge, slowly consumed by the very jungle that nurtured them. Palaces became overgrown, plazas became forests, and the sounds of human activity gave way to the cries of monkeys and birds. It wasn't just one city, but an entire region that experienced this profound depopulation and political fragmentation. The silence speaks volumes, but what does it say? Was it a mass exodus, or something far more devastating? Archaeologists and historians have wrestled with the question of the Maya collapse for decades, proposing numerous theories. Was it a single, catastrophic event? Or a complex interplay of factors, each exacerbating the others? From environmental devastation to relentless warfare, the list of potential culprits is long and varied. Each new discovery seems to add another layer to the puzzle, pushing us closer, yet still keeping the definitive answer just out of reach. What do you think led to their downfall? One prominent theory points to environmental factors, particularly prolonged droughts. The southern Maya lowlands relied heavily on rainfall for agriculture and drinking water. Evidence from lake sediments suggests severe, multi-year droughts coinciding with the period of decline. Did the Maya inadvertently contribute to their own vulnerability through deforestation and unsustainable land practices? Could a changing climate have simply pushed an already stressed system past its breaking point? Closely linked to climate change is the idea of resource depletion. Over centuries of intensive agriculture and city building, the Maya might have exhausted the very resources that sustained them. Deforestation for construction and fuel, coupled with soil erosion from farming, could have reduced agricultural yields dramatically. Imagine trying to feed tens of thousands of people when your land is becoming less fertile, and the rain stops falling. A slow starvation, perhaps, for entire regions. While external pressures mounted, internal divisions may have simultaneously weakened the Maya. Evidence suggests an increase in warfare between city-states during the late Classic period,
perhaps exacerbated by resource scarcity. Was it a complete breakdown of political systems, as commoners revolted against their divine rulers? Or simply a desperate scramble for dwindling resources? The meticulously kept records of royal lineages abruptly stop, hinting at a profound disruption from within. The combination of drought, resource depletion, and warfare would have created ideal conditions for widespread famine and disease.
Malnutrition makes populations vulnerable, and dense urban centers are perfect breeding grounds for epidemics.
While direct evidence is scarce, it's a grim, plausible scenario.
What horrors might have swept through the cities, silently emptying them of life?
A silent killer, more devastating than any army, could explain the eerie quiet that followed. Ultimately, the collapse wasn't likely due to a single cause, but a devastating feedback loop of interconnected problems. A multicausal scenario where environmental stress weakened the agricultural base, leading to increased competition and warfare, which in turn disrupted trade and political stability, further exacerbating famine and disease. Each factor fed into the other, creating a downward spiral.
It's a sobering lesson, perhaps echoing challenges faced by societies even today. It's crucial to understand that the collapse wasn't the end of the Maya people. It was a transformation, a shift. While the great cities of the southern lowlands faltered, other Maya centers in the northern Yucatan Peninsula continued to thrive, even flourish, into what is known as the post-classic period, 900-1500 CE. The torch of Maya civilization didn't extinguish, it simply moved, adapting and evolving in new regions. What lessons did they learn from the fall of their predecessors?
One of the most spectacular examples of this post-classic resurgence is Chichen Itza. A monumental city in the Yucatan, it displays a fascinating blend of Maya and Central Mexican influences, particularly from the Toltec civilization. Its iconic El Castillo pyramid, aligned with astronomical precision, still dominates the landscape. Chichen Itza became a powerful political and economic hub, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability of Maya culture.
But even its glory eventually faded, leaving behind new questions. The next significant turning point in Maya history arrived with the Europeans.
In the early 16th century, Spanish conquistadors landed in Mesoamerica, bringing with them a different worldview, new technologies, and devastating diseases. While many Maya communities resisted fiercely, the arrival of the Spanish marked the end of an independent indigenous era and the beginning of a long period of colonial subjugation. What treasures, both cultural and material, were irrevocably lost during this brutal encounter? Under Spanish rule, much of the Maya's vibrant culture and knowledge was systematically suppressed. Their sacred texts, or codices, were burned by zealous missionaries, seen as pagan idolatry. The architectural marvels were sometimes stripped for building materials or simply left to be consumed by the jungle. For centuries, the achievements of the Maya were largely forgotten by the outside world, their cities becoming literal lost worlds.
How much irreplaceable knowledge was lost forever in those fires?
The idea of magnificent lost cities slumbering beneath the jungle began to capture the European imagination in the late 18th and early 19th centuries.
Tales from intrepid explorers filtered back, speaking of impossible ruins, grand structures swallowed by vines.
These were often fantastic, exaggerated accounts, but they lit a spark. A sense of wonder and curiosity began to grow, setting the stage for more serious investigations.
Could these exotic stories actually be true? The true unveiling of the Maya world began with two remarkable men, American diplomat John Lloyd Stephens and British artist Frederick Catherwood. Their expeditions in the 1830s and 40s, braving disease and difficult terrain, led to the meticulous documentation of numerous forgotten sites. Catherwood's incredibly accurate and detailed illustrations provided the first real glimpse of Maya grandeur to the Western world, sparking global fascination. Their work proved that these weren't Roman or Egyptian, but a unique, sophisticated American civilization. The lost world was found. Since Stephens and Catherwood, generations of archaeologists, epigraphers, and historians have dedicated their lives to piecing together the Maya puzzle.
Digging through layers of earth, carefully conserving fragile artifacts, and deciphering complex texts, they continue to uncover new revelations.
Each new discovery refines our understanding, adding nuance and detail to a history that was once considered lost. What cutting-edge tools are now helping us see what was once invisible?
Today, technology is revolutionizing our ability to see through the dense jungle canopy. LiDAR, or light detection and ranging, uses laser pulses from aircraft to map the ground beneath the foliage, revealing the hidden contours of ancient cities. This has exposed vast, interconnected urban landscapes, defensive structures, and agricultural systems previously invisible. What else is still waiting to be revealed, lying just beneath the surface of our perception, literally hidden in plain sight? Crucially, the Maya are not a people of the past. Millions of Maya descendants continue to live in Mesoamerica today, speaking indigenous languages, maintaining vibrant cultural traditions, and carrying forward a living legacy. Their ancestors' wisdom, their resilience, and their artistic spirit persist. The story of the Maya is not just one of ancient glory and mysterious decline, but also of enduring heritage and vibrant contemporary culture.
What can we learn from the persistence of their identity? Despite centuries of research and groundbreaking discoveries, the Maya still hold countless secrets. The precise reasons for the classic collapse, the full extent of their astronomical knowledge, the exact meanings of many glyphs, and the locations of countless undiscovered cities continue to elude us. Each answer seems to raise new questions, deepening the intrigue. What great untold stories still lie buried beneath the jungle's embrace, waiting for the next generation of explorers? The lost world of the Maya is not entirely lost, it is continuously being found, understood, and celebrated. It reminds us that history is not static, but a living, breathing narrative, constantly reinterpreted with every new discovery. The quest to understand this extraordinary civilization is far from over. And as long as the jungle keeps its secrets, and the stones whisper their stories, the allure of the Maya will continue to beckon us, urging us to look closer, to dig deeper, to listen for the echoes of a lost world.